Kendall Fuller, though, with the Detroit Lions.
Come
I
on.
like that
Come
one.
on.
Lucas, Lions.
This is what you give us.
They think former Commanders corner Kendall Fuller is the best fit as a free agent with the Lions. And they write, I'll read the description. I'm going to let Lucas and Boone here cook. So they wrote, the Lions allowed 247.4 passing yards per game last season, sixth most in the league. But bringing in a perimeter corner like Fuller could boost the whole profile of the Lions secondary with 16 career interceptions, 10 in his past 4 years. With Washington and the savvy technique to play both man and zone, Fuller is a good fit for Aaron Glenn's system.
Boys, what do we always talk about when we say, when you're a good corner, it really helps you to have a great defensive line? Chase Young, Montez Sweat, or you could just go down the list of first-round picks that were sitting on the Washington Commanders' front seven. So I'm not saying Kendall Fuller is trash, but if that's what you walk away with at the end of the free agency as your cornerback one, where it's like, you know what? We addressed the cornerback room. We went and got that guy from Washington, Kendall Fuller. I'm going to be sitting here and be like, okay, is this another Cam Sutton? And that's not disrespectful, but Kendall Fuller does not solve, in my opinion, many issues in that cornerback room. Yes, he's an upgrade from Vildor, but if that's what the best fit for the Detroit Lions is in free agency, I'll tell you right now, I'll be pissed. If you were to bring in Fuller over Stephon Gilmore, I'd lose my mind, because at the end of the day, Kendall Fuller in man coverage, you can say, well, look at his zone. Kendall Fuller is not ideal for man coverage. He's just not. And that's what Aaron Glenn wants to do. He wants to make the quarterback uncomfortable, and he wants playmakers in the back end. And I just do not think Kendall Fuller is worth the money, regardless of what it is, when there's better options that you can go out and get. I don't think he's terrible, but it's just not the guy I would desire.
I don't know how to follow Lucas there. That was just like, all right. It just feels like it's like a lower on the list deal. Like, you have a lot of options. It just feels like it's a lower on the list deal. It would be like one of those things where it's like you get into free agency and it's like last minute, like Brad's like, wait a second, boys, we didn't get a corner. Who's left? Kendall's there, fellas. Like, let's get him. So I don't know. He's probably not terrible, like as bad as we're making him out to be. And he may come to Detroit, so I don't want to go too far in on him. But
he was the best corner on the worst secondary in football.
Yeah, it's just like maybe for depth, but you can't bring him in to be your number one.
He had 627 coverage snaps this season and allowed 101.9 passer rating. And he allowed about 10 yards per reception. So not great. Great coverage number. Not great.
This right here too, like Fuller's a great $7 million per year. I don't think at the end of the day, unless you're getting like a Stephon Gilmore, I don't think you're looking for like just a $7 million, like a guy. Just like you do that, then Cam's kind of still like your dude. It feels like you might have to have Cam Sutton be your dude, and it's just like we want like our goal this offseason. I'll say it every day. Fill the holes and fill the gaps in the defense and take a step forward and become a top 15 defense. Does this move put you there like guaranteed? No. Could you get you there? Maybe, but like you don't have like that wiggle room to be maybe. Like you're competing for a Super Bowl. You have to go out and get pieces.
If they do that, I could live with it if they go out and they get either via trade or free agency, they get a big time edge rusher. So then it's like you're putting Cam Sutton and Fuller in a situation where it's like, yeah, we know you're not lockdown guys, but don't worry about it. We got Hutch and the boys. We're getting after them. So it's going to be making your life easier, especially with Iffy, Kirby, and Branch there. But if they were to get Kendall Fuller and like Leonard Floyd, I don't think the Lions would be hurt. Obviously, they would get better, but I just don't think those are the win now moves that the team should be making. And again, if Brad does it, who am I to judge? That's just my opinion.
I don't want to say like I hate this, but I don't love it. Like if they walked away with Kendall Fuller, I'm not going to be like, yeah, exactly. Yeah. I just
league's in trouble.
Yeah. We'll run with it. We'll find a way. Brad will find a way.
Fuller thrives with a good defensive line, which corners do, and you're going to upgrade this defensive line. To me, Kendall would be like the stepping stone to your next corner. You get what I'm saying? Like they draft a corner, they bring in maybe a Kendall Fuller, and he's kind of there for maybe a year. And then, and then after that, he's just kind of like, all right.
So maybe he's a good spot to get Kool-Aid and bring him in to like, hey, work Kool-Aid in. But maybe by the end of the year, Kool-Aid McKinstry's like ready to go.
Yeah,
I would like, and Booner, you're not wrong with what you're saying. Like, if that happened with Fuller, there's a good chance that happens. But just back to our point, I'm not signing a guy in free agency and win now mode that's what his job is. It's just like you're gonna be a placeholder till like, no, if you're gonna sign a guy in free agency right now, you're the Detroit Lions. At some point, you got to go get a dude.
But I will push back because L'Jarius Sneed, Jalen Johnson, those guys are dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Or are they getting them? And are you gonna pay that type of that type of price point for?
You know what,
That's
Jeff?
true.
You're spot on
trades
because
out there.
no, but Jeff is a little spot on too because like we talked about getting dudes in the defensive end yesterday. We talked about getting a dude interior. Like I know there's like you have to find your like the balance to like spend your money. Like Aiden Hutchinson, he's a dude. You're gonna have to pay him. Like there's dudes you're gonna have to pay. So going out and getting these big time ones, like you can't afford it. So Kendall Fuller may end up being like. You hate it, Lucas, but he might be the best guy to get to bring in as well as like a Kool-Aid McKinstry or another corner to work in with it. We're spitballing.
No,
ideas
I
here.
know.
We're not locking in anything. We've got a long off season, brother.
Kyle,
I just don't want to see that NFL
dudes.
notification on my phone.
That's a pause right there, Kyle. We need some pause emojis for that one.
And I know Zach's there said yes, you pay for your corner number one. Luke or Jeff, the points you've been making this whole show too, where it's just like if you can draft a guy like Kool-Aid and by year 1, year 2, he's your number one, and you have a 5th year on him because you draft him in the first round. Because like you said, corners are starting to get expensive because of the position they are. So like if you can somehow pull this. I trust Brad like full-heartedly. I trust him. If you could pull it off to bring a guy like Kendall Fuller in and draft your number one and give him a year, I do trust that because then you do have that 5th year option. Which that was a great point. Like I like that idea.
I know I appreciate that. That's where I was coming from with it too. Like that's why I'm not going to sit here and be mad about it, but I am more with Lucas. I think we're all kind of agreeing. Like he's not a guy that you're going to sit there and be like, "Whoo, Lions walked away with a splash," but it's like he's more of like a placeholder. I mean, he's 29 years old. I mean, would you prefer Stephon Gilmore with his experience? Like maybe you'd argue age, but I like Stephon personally. But you do get a younger version, not younger version of Stephon, but like a younger corner. That's what I meant. So I don't hate it, but I don't love it.